Okay, I'm now joined by Alex Hens from 3D Marcoms. He joins me to discuss a new solution that he's taken to market. So Alex, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Could you give me a quick summary of 3D Marcoms, first of all?
Sure. Well, I've worked in recruitment advertising on the advertising agency side of things for best part of 14, 15 years now, and I spent the last 7 years working as head of digital at one of the top 10 agencies in London. And basically 3D Marcoms was born out of frustration.
Okay.
Born out of frustration in terms of trying to deliver integrated solutions for clients in terms of their recruitment advertising.
Right.
And that's what 3D Marcoms is about. The solution that we have spent the past 9 months getting right is called Harbour,
Yep.
Harbour ATS. Find out more at harbour-ats.com. Nice little plug.
Plug there,
That's what you're here for. Get
That's
the
what
plug in.
Exactly. Yeah, effectively, I spent a number of years trying to work with clients and candidates who were frustrated at having to work around and trying to work with existing systems. And so we thought, well, if we were selling the dream of an integrated solution in terms of recruitment advertising, then there was no better way to do it than to build our own platform that we could leverage accordingly.
Excellent. So give us a summary. Tell us about Harbour.
Okay. Well, it's built to be faster.
Right.
We can take it head to head if you want. Faster, more configurable and more flexible than other solutions that are out there.
Okay.
Well, at the entry level point, it can be deployed within minutes. And then up to the higher level, again, depending on the sort of the specification and the exact requirements, then it can be rolled out within days if needs be. But of course, as Richard will testify, so much of the delay actually happens to the sort of understanding the process and where that all goes through.
Sure.
But yeah, it was a question of starting again using modern modern build approach and being able to leave behind all the legacy code that other software providers tend to sort of struggle with.
Good. So if you were to summarise the features and benefits that a commercial user of the system would experience.
Sure. From a commercial perspective, we've done something we refer to as treating the back end as a front end. I've had a number of years of experience delivering websites that have to be highly usable for the candidates, some of them which have been award-winning, which is nice. But at the end of the day, it's about getting that bum on the seat. And I've seen too many instances where many of the established job boards will not be used as well as they might be because the user will go in there and the block goes up because it's built by developers. Our approach is to get designers involved in how the back-end interface works, the graphical user interface, if you like, and make sure that that's as logical and a process to follow as possible. And we've got complete control over that because it's style sheet based, which basically means that you can make it look however you want it to look without having to rebuild the entire system.
Excellent.
So that sort of flexibility is intrinsic within it. But KONX and in regards to Richard's new system, again, tracking is absolutely right at the core.
Yeah.
We have possibly slightly different ways of doing it. I'm sure we do, but at the end of the day, it's about proving the ROI. Generally, at the moment, I'm saying that ROI is the currency of success, and if our system doesn't prove that, then I wonder what you're using an ATS for if it can't prove that.
And let's talk about the job seeker. What experience can a job seeker have by being processed through the system?
It's about making sure that we can give the client the flexibility. It's not saying like this is the way it is. So many of the solutions out there are very much based on this is how we do it, and the Model T Ford example, any colour as long as it's black. Our approach is very much to allow that sort of flexibility and configurability. From the first perspective, we approach the front end as a user would want to see it. So it's about, rather than saying these are the templates, this is how your job search will look, it's all style sheet driven. Okay. So from that perspective, we'll integrate with the website. In fact, we can actually build a website as well for you, put it on our content management system, which allows a far higher search engine profile from the way that we sort of deploy it, and also the URLs that we use when we're creating the jobs allow it to be more Google, MSN, Yahoo search friendly.
So the job seeker's going to find it.
So the job seeker's going to find it. You're going to get more of that sort of traffic that you're not having to pay for, which is always nice, as long as it's the right traffic. But also in terms of their experience all the way through it, rather than going to a website, buying into the whole brand and then finding yourself transported to somewhere that you don't even recognise, it's all part of the same sort of experience.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Alex?
I'd say it's picking up. If everybody's saying it's picking up and looking to the future, what are you waiting for? It's picked. Whether it'll go down, you know, if there is the sort of cutbacks in public sector that are being sort of talked about. But from my perspective, it certainly looks as if there's a lot of conversations going on and the volumes are on the way up.
Now, before I go to my job board friends, Alex, you've come out of an ad agency. You work with a lot of big corporate clients. You built your ATS. What's your take on job boards?
What we've witnessed is a gold rush, and it was easy to, with all due respect, create a job board, and you know, it was low cost to entry.
That was really?
Well, absolutely. You know, back in the day when you were creating personnel today, you had print runs and all of those elements, so there wasn't so many being banged out, if you like. But I think that the brand is going to be key, and I think that it's about investing in. And as much as the job boards have, I wouldn't say had it easy, but it has been easier than it had been traditionally to create a new platform or to create a new entity. All of a sudden now it's the shock of, oh, we've got to spend extra money in, you know, where do we invest here? Where do we invest there? How do we sort of maintain a presence in social media? We're going to see probably some fallout. I think that from a job seeker's perspective, that's almost certainly overdue because there's so many choices out there for them. So I think that the brands that get it right and invest, we'll see them sort of lasting longer, because other than those people that are sitting here, those people who are sort of watching in, who are, you know, very experienced in digital recruitment, it's the Joe public out on the street, and they'll go for the brand that they know first and foremost. Yes, they'll search Google, yes, they'll see what comes up, but they'll go with what they trust. And that is, that's us as humans, I'm afraid. You know, we all like to go with where we trust.
Okay.
Can I just add to that very, very quickly? Just in regards to what's going to do for job boards, potentially, the three things that we've raised in regards to today, the technology side of things, from Coenix, yourselves and myself, you know, we're focusing on MI. And to be perfectly honest, people are buying media without a clue of what's working. Exactly as you said, 50%, don't know which 50%. That is what is going to change the job board market, because it's easy enough to put up a job board and say, we are providing you with hundreds of applications. Are any of them any good? Question. Do any of them actually fill out the full application form? Question. And now we're seeing technology that will actually give you the answers to that, and that is what will come back, because actually, if the job board is just up there because it's easy, but isn't providing the quality, forget the quantity, then you know, that's what we'll sort of do for
and
some.
just to add to that very briefly, I think I completely agree with all the comments on that.
I've said that a lot with direct clients, and they'll say, you know, over the years, you know, I've been trying to sell from new media through to digital, and you know, we tried online, it didn't work. Well, let's look at what you did. Let's look at how it did it. And lots of people will say, well, banner advertising doesn't work. Well, let's look at how actually you're executing that. You know, are you in the right space? How are you utilising that? What are you expecting the candidate to? You know, the candidate is used to now. When we go to a website, we're more used to being, you know, getting really clever advertising from Volkswagen or somebody else in regards to that. And, you know, and that's what people want to engage with. So if you're just putting a, you know, a job title on in your logo, is that good? Or indeed just your logo? But lots of people will fall down, because if you are measuring success properly, then you will find out that, you know, that job board isn't working for you. Well, it's how you're using that job board. Stop blaming the media. Look at how you're using it, and then when you're actually using it in a very, you know, in an effective and an efficient way, and you can say, well, it is working when I do it properly on this site. It's not working when I do it properly on that site. Fine, then you cull that site. But that's the way that it has to be done, rather than looking at the medium itself and saying it doesn't work. Technology, certainly as it is today, is a wonder at sort of blurring those boundaries, and you know, we see moves from the Guardian in regards to, you know, whether they are recruitment consultants, whether they're ATS providers, through that, you know. So, but that's that's all happening, and it
is alleged,
and it needs. Okay, sorry, but. In regards to that, that's what you're going to see from job boards, and for the job boards to survive, then they need to, you know, just take that on the chin, and if they can establish their brand by sort of broadening their reach, then that's exactly what they need to do. You know, it's not just about using Twitter to just push your jobs out there. It's about making sure that you engage. It's about putting somebody who has a personality and can convey your brand personality on there, so that rather than just saying, here's 50, 100 jobs that we pasted last month, it's about when somebody comes back and says, right, I've just lost my job, I'm in Maidstone, I used to do this. Have you got somebody there who will then go and use that database and say, right, we found you this. So all of a sudden that operator becomes a recruitment consultant of sorts, and all that really matters is they're driving a good candidate through to their clients.